At the end of a small street, there was an old grocery store that had stood there for more than 30 years. The owner's name was Lamb. Everyone in the neighborhood knew him, not because he was kind or generous, but because he was extremely precise. He remembered every missing coin, every unpaid item. His debt ledger was thick, filled with neat rows of small numbers that reflected his careful, calculating nature. Poor people often hesitated to enter Lamb's store, not because he'd chase them away, but because his gaze made them feel as if they owed him. One rainy afternoon, when the street was nearly empty, an elderly woman slowly stepped into the shop, leaning on a wooden cane. She stood for a long time in front of the rice shelf. "What do you want to buy?" Lamb asked coldly. The woman spoke softly. "May I owe you 1 kilogram of rice? I'll receive my allowance tomorrow. I promise I'll pay." Lamb frowned. "You've owed me several times already." The woman lowered her head. "I know, but today I'm very hungry." Lamb sighed, scooped the rice, but when he wrote it down in his ledger, he deliberately added an extra half kilogram. "If you owe properly," he muttered. The woman didn't know. She thanked him repeatedly and disappeared into the rain. Time passed. Lamb's business flourished. He bought more land, more houses. People said he had a gift for making money. But only Lamb knew that every night he still opened his ledger, afraid he might have missed a single coin life owed him. Then one day, misfortune arrived. Lamb fell seriously ill. A strange disease left him bedridden. Medical bills drained his savings faster than he had ever counted money. His children were busy. Helpers gradually left, and his large house became cold and silent. One afternoon, while he lay half-conscious, someone knocked on the door. A middle-aged woman entered, followed by a young man. She looked at Lamb for a long time. "Do you remember me?" she asked. Lamb shook his head weakly. 30 years ago, my mother often owed rice from your shop," she said. "She passed away, but before she died, she told me, if I ever met you again, I should repay what she still owed." The young man placed a bag of rice and an envelope of money on the table. Lamb trembled. Memories rushed back. Those extra half kilograms, the tiny numbers in his ledger. Tears rolled down his face. "No, I am the one who owes," he whispered. The woman shook her head gently. "My mother said, everyone harvests what they plant," but she didn't want to carry resentment. They left. That night, Lamb survived the crisis. But from that day on, he changed. When he recovered, he burned his old debt ledger. The grocery store remained open, but at the front stood a small jar of rice with a handwritten sign. "If you are hungry, take some. If you have enough, please leave some behind." People asked if he was afraid of losing money. Lamb simply smiled. Some debts can be repaid with money, but debts of conscience must be repaid with kindness.